It's currently mid-November, and it's getting cold. It was below freezing. It's below freezing right now. So I'm kind of running out of time. Well, we are back here at the house. It's honestly been a while since I've been here, and it'll probably be a while before you actually see this video, present day, of what's going on right now. It was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago that Ryan and his boys came and helped me start with all this stone that's in here. So I had other plans today that I was going to work on at the house, tidy a couple other things up, but I made a little bit of a mistake. Only maybe a week ago, I start the habit in the winters to take my batteries from my tools and bring them in the house when I'm not using them. So since I just started that habit because the weather's getting cold, and cold doesn't do well with batteries, I forgot them at the house. I didn't actually bring them back. So I have no power tools today, which means I'm going to shovel some stone, which is fine. It's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so I could use a little bit of a warm-up anyway. So that's what we're up to today. I did want to show you around a little bit and talk a little bit more about the water damage that I keep referring to, and the reason that I really want to do this concrete floor. So most of it's covered up now. We haven't had a whole lot of rain lately. But you can see, I don't know if you'll really be able to tell, but there was a bit of water, and I think some other animals had probably gotten in through that hole that's kind of behind the rake, and really brought in some sediment or some loose dirt and some water. And this is where the kitchen was. And so this whole spot here would really get a lot of moisture. So it rotted the floors out. And in doing so, in rotting the floors out, that floor had to be replaced. And as I kind of took it apart one day, I don't know how much, I don't think I had a ton of video on it. There was a lot of moisture damage. It looked like the floor had been replaced more than once. So there were different types of boards. I think you could tell some boards were newer than other boards. So it looked like this moisture issue had been a persisting problem with this house, and I think I know why. So I don't know a ton about grade, other than the basic. You don't want the grade to slope toward the house, because any rainwater will hit the ground and run downhill, of course. And so if the grade is running toward the house, it'll hit the house, and it'll most likely find its way into the house. And this is my backyard of the house. So there's the back side of the house. And if I don't know how well you can see this from your point of view, but there's a big hill there, and all that hill comes sloping down, 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 boom, and hits the house. And it's not too bad right here, but it continues. It slopes down, 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 and way down into the house. I don't know how well you can see that. And another big major problem was this corner. So I think the water, whatever water hit here that didn't go this way, cupped this way. And even here worked its way into the house. And so this is the back side of the house, in between my house and the neighbors over here. On the other side of that fence. And I was talking to the neighbor, and he said at one point the old owners dug a trench here because they realized moisture was getting in underneath the house, or in through the sill and the foundation, the top of the foundation. And he said what they did was they dug it all out so that it could breathe, so that air could get in and it could dry out. But they never actually did anything else with it. So now, again, I don't know how well you guys can tell, but there's a foot slope here from that top downward, right directly to the foundation and the sill, or whatever. I can't quite see underneath. But so that means any water that comes off the roof falls directly onto the ground and slopes directly into the house. And that doesn't, not only my roof, but his roof as well, which is literally right here. The two houses are pretty close. So there's really quite a bit of work to be done around here to basically dig out around the house. And I'm going to put in some drainage around the house with some more stone to a dry well where all the water can hopefully shed to and dissipate into the ground on that side of the house, so it won't just come straight in. So that's one of the ways I plan to fix the problem. The next is this concrete floor. So all this stone that I've been moving in will go inside the house. And there's roughly 12 to 15 inches in some places. All that extra height that was between the bottom of the floor, the wooden floor, and the ground is going to be now stone. So any moisture that does get in doesn't have to stick around. That the water can work its way through the stone and down and out. I'll have a vapor barrier, of course, above the stone, and then the concrete slab, which won't rot out. So that's the idea behind the concrete is I'm really fighting this moisture, this water that is coming straight at the house, coming off the roof and down into the house. One of my other thoughts, and maybe I can get to this next spring, I don't really know. I don't even know if I'll get to the drainage before winter really sets in and the ground hardens up. But I'd like to regrade some of this backyard. I've already got permission from the inspector to do so. He said, I can do it. I just have to be sure that the grade doesn't point towards the neighbor's house, because that'll be problematic and I could get in trouble for that. So as long as I put some put some sort of maybe swale in, so that any water that comes off from this side of the house comes down and off, and then from the hill comes down and off in like a swale, a V, and then that can shoot this way, kind of towards where I'm standing, and down the driveway or down the side of the driveway. I could possibly put some more drainage tile on the upper side of the driveway, down to the other side if I needed to. So there's a couple of different things. I'd really love to get the drainage tile in before winter, but if I'm being honest, at the rate of everything's going, it's currently mid-November. Again, I don't know when you guys will actually see this video, but it's currently mid-November, and it's getting cold. It was below freezing. It's below freezing right now. So I'm kind of running out of time. There's not too many times in my life where I would qualify shoveling stone as fun, but doing it by yourself certainly is a lot less fun than doing it with some other people, for sure. I also forgot that unless we take the other sliding door off entirely, the wheelbarrow doesn't actually fit through the door. So we did last time, but I don't have power tools to take the door off right now and put it back on because I don't have my batteries. So all the stone beyond me that I don't want to just throw in the door, it's just a little bit more of a pain. One of the other things that's been kind of called into question in my mind is the sill itself. So when this building was originally built, I don't know if they did, I assume there was no pressure treated wood. And I like pressure treated wood when it's in contact with concrete or stone or in the elements or whatever. And so with repeated moisture damage, the sill is what I'm beginning to be more and more concerned about. I've poked around some, and there's a couple spots that likely I'll replace, and easy enough. Below this door, I'll replace and put the new door in that I have. But there's a couple other spots I'm like, I don't know if I should section this off and try it. There's a lot of questions when it comes to that piece as well. Take a break once in a while. Usually in the summer it doesn't bother me, but now that it's cold and I work hard in the cold, my asthma flares up. And again, since the cool degrees is fairly new and shoveling stone is a lot of work, I don't have my inhaler, so I gotta slow down and like just take it piece by piece. I don't have asthma bad. Like never had a bad asthma attack where I'm like scared or whatever, but some days I just gotta, sometimes when it's cold I just gotta stop and regrip my breath. That's all. I had to put on my other jacket because I got warm, so I took my sweatshirt off, threw it in some water. On the flip side, we figure out how to get the door off for now and get it back on. So we're back in business. Except it still doesn't quite fit all the way through the door because of the handles. Well, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if there's any other ideas that you guys have for this water issue that I'm kind of facing. Again, I've kind of talked about the drainage and kind of the stone, helping with some of that. So let me know if you have any other ideas. It's still a ways down the road yet that I'll be able to do too much with it, especially as I talk about the drainage outside. I don't think that's a possibility till spring at this point. So we'll see how that ends up.